Hey yo, I just want to say shout out to my red bike. It got stolen about a year ago, and I think about you every day. But you know, now I got a blue bike, and it's not the same, but it's a new life, a new journey. So rest in pedals, red bike, I love you. I like to bask in the tropics with a flask in my pocket. If you acting all brolic, I'll start laughing and mocking like a charismatic parrot that is a comic. Now I'm feeling like the shit, cause I'm rapping with phonics. Loose off of Jen Ricky's.
Alrighty. Hopefully you guys are all doing well and whatnot. Hopefully the new year is treating you guys well. I'm not there yet, but I'm laying down the groundwork, if you will, for the first month or two, because, you know, the DSP writer's room, I should say, not so much the tractors, but the writer room is going to be kind of slow and whatnot. So, you know, I'm just giving myself a little bit of leverage and whatnot. So when I get into the actual 2026 season, or once I step on the court, you know, I'll be able to, you know, pad my my stats a little bit before we get into the situation. Should be fun. Anywho, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the newsroom, and welcome to the Goutopian News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report, brought to you by SnortBucks Coffee Company, best beverage company ever. Here we go. So, if now that that's out of the way, we're going to actually speak a little bit about ReviewTechUSA, because in my current timeline, he's up to all kinds of tomfoolery, and I feel the need to cover it. So we're going to actually go over 3 situations stemming from April 1st, or April Fools, of 2025 up until December 18th of 2025, same year. We're going to go over 3 situations. He's going to basically, we're going to basically tap in on why he deleted ReviewTechUSA, his story. It's a lie, so I'll cut that up in a minute. We're going to go into his I owe you an explanation, which is him basically coping and regretting for doing it because he's a fucking dumbass. And then the last one will be ReviewTechUSA is back. I made a mistake. Here's my story. Him trying to basically take hold of his dead name channel and trying to basically get it back into sequence leading into the 2026 or into 2026. So that's what we're going to speak on. And it might be a long one, but I need to flush all this out, because if he fails this year, which he more than likely will, it'll be funny. It'll be super funny. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get into my favorite segment. Hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, your favorite segment as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my TED Talk. So if we go back to 2023, honestly, when a lot of the fuckery kind of came about, he was supposed to be successful. His music career or whatever was supposed to be off the ground. He was supposed to be doing bigger and better. You know what I'm saying? Jay and 8-Bit Eric and Smash JT were supposed to be crying tears. The detractors are supposed to be getting fucked and on their knees, kissing the ring and sucking dick and all that bullshit. And apparently none of that happened. That's unfortunate, because what was ReviewTechUSA boasting and ranting and raving about? He took all these L's over the years that didn't need to happen. He hasn't furthered any of his he hasn't furthered his enterprise or any of his aspirations. And now where we're at current, he is, like I said, he has reclaimed his dead name channel and whatnot. He has the ASMR channel that he's about to turn into something else, which I call that. And now he's trying to, believe it or not, he is trying to build up relationships with people that he ain't fucked over. So 8-Bit Eric, not 8-Bit Eric, I'm sorry, damn it. Fucking Jay, he's going to try to work things out with Jay. Through Jay, he thinks he can at least get on some type of terms with 8-Bit Eric. Smash JT, he thinks will just follow along. I have heard rumors that he is considering on reaching out to detractors that he's had beefs with and see if he can smooth that over by going through other detractors to do it. That's all alleged. I got no proof on any of that. I don't know how well he's going to pull that off, given that he's been throwing shots at Duty as of late. So we'll see where that all goes. He's essentially trying to bring everything back to the way it was before he deleted his main channel. Why? Why do any of this? You've already failed on a massive scale. Everybody's already had their laughs at it. And now you're the proverbial idiot that's just kind of limping along. And for most people, they're not even really interested per se, unless they're going back and looking at his past or at your past, and now drumming up shit that you may have said or done so they can bring that to light. He basically lost every battle over the last 2 years, meaning ReviewTechUSA. He lost to the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics. He lost to Jay. He lost to, well, I mean, I guess you can throw Sav into the detractor thing. You can throw her in there. But, like, he's taken L's by everybody. He hasn't got a win on anybody at all. I mean, hell, even some of the troll channels who clip him, he's trying to be cool with. He's unbanning them. Ozzy Cobbs is one of the people that come to mind. So what exactly are you doing? You can't just go backwards and expect everybody to be like, oh, okay, whatever. See, the veil of stupidity that RTU had around him has already been unveiled, if you will. The revelation that he was boring enough or irrelevant enough to get away or to kind of squirm away from his lolcowdom, that's gone now. Now everybody knows it. It's out there. On top of the fact that you got Mikey No More and everybody else that's on your neck. There is no going back now. And you've burnt all these bridges that you can't rebuild on top of this fucking blood feud that you still have with fucking Keemstar and LCU, which is fucking retarded. What are you doing? What are you doing? So unless Rich goes back to Old Faithful, meaning we start botting subs, we start botting views, which that's easily going to get picked up the moment he starts doing that shit, then what? We'll see. But my thought process is Rich is trying to build himself another 1 million sub channel. He thinks if he can do it over time, he'll make it happen. That's why he keeps throwing out these stats about how, oh, my latest video has done 50% better than the previous videos that he's uploaded. Oh, I'm pulling in 3,000 new subs a month or whatever. I'm getting such and such, such. You see what I'm saying? He's trying to establish a pattern. So once the influx kind of comes into play, he'll be able to say, hey, I've been telling you guys for months or for the better part of a year that I've been showing a lot of growth over here. So you guys can't accuse me of botting. Remember, what is rewarded will be repeated. And for a period of time, he got away with doing that shit on the main channel. Till fucking Tipster came in and scalped his ass. By accident, if you will. So, we'll see what's what. In any case, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Now, let's go ahead and move forward positively with our situation. Let's see here. Yeah, that'll work. Why not? That'll work. Okay. And, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we got 3 videos that are going to make up our broadcast, all brought to us by ReviewTechUSA, begrudgingly. Oh, boy. All right, first video. Let's see why I deleted hashtag ReviewTechUSA, the full story. This is from April 1st of 2025. One that will follow up with is actually something that I cut myself, you know, because I'm a big boy now. Anyway, it's something that I cut myself that came from a stream that he did, which is called I Owe You an Explanation. I'll give you the synopsis of that shit when we get to that. That was from December 16th of 2025. And then the last thing that will kind of round this all off is ReviewTechUSA is back. I made mistakes. Here's my story. And this is from December 18th of 2025. So that's our lineup. Speaking of which, another reason why he's grabbing at this dead name channel is because everybody else is kind of still eating off of it, or everybody else is still doing well off of it. So he thinks that, okay, over the span of the past year, all these people are still using my name or his name on YouTube. So he thinks if he goes ahead and claims it, he can slide back into position and he'll use that momentum to catapult himself. In the same way that after he ain't got his ass fired from LolCow Live, or LolCow Universe, I should say, he went ahead and took up the name, I want to say it was called LolCow Basement, so he could still stay into the still stay in the LCU search engine, if you will, before he ended up changing the name again. I think it's something along those lines, but I don't think the algorithm actually works like that anymore, nor does the SEO, but whatever. It is what it is. Rich is the one that's supposed to be successful and everything, so who am I to tell him what to do? All right, so let's go ahead and set our board up.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, actually, real fast, I need you to see this. Just check this crazy shit out. What you're seeing currently is him on April 1st of 2025. He's as wide on all sides as one would expect. Now look at this.
Bucket. Buddy, this is weird. I'm not used to...
That's in December. This is him in December. Now, Rich having this massive weight loss shouldn't surprise any of you, because he did this years ago as well. I don't know if it was Ozempic or whatever, fat loss supplement that is popular or affordable for him at the very least that he's using, whatever. But this is rather drastic in the better part of 8 months. 8 months. This right here.
Hello.
And this right here. That was all in the span of 8 months. I want you to think about that. Because if he could lose the weight that quickly by whatever hook or crook, that means he's definitely going to put that shit back on once the stress gets to his ass. I just thought I'd point it out. All right. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Hello, everybody. This is weird. I'm not used to making an actual YouTube video. I'm just used to turning on the freaking camera and live streaming. But I thought it was time to make a video for those of you who know me, discussing why I shut down ReviewTechUSA.
Which I don't even know if that's even necessarily true. I'd have to go back and look at when he started putting his gaming news videos back on the RTU streaming channel, basically is what it is. I can't remember exactly when he started doing that again. So take what he said right there with a grain of salt. I want to say he did it damn near immediately after the second channel or his main channel fell.
Got rid of the channel and simply just didn't archive it or whatever. I know I owe a lot of people an explanation with that, and I wanted to make sure that everything was settled first and the drama was subsided, which it is. As a matter of fact, Jay and I are friends again.
There's no way you can be friends with someone after what the fuck what the fuck y'all did and whatnot. That's not a thing. That's not a thing at all. He basically dismissed over a decade of their friendship and what fucking Jay did for him, and called him a leech, a parasite. You know what I'm saying? He said he was lazy and he was never really, holding up his end of the bargain. You basically carried him along like you were PPP carrying Andy, for those who like to go back to that situation, whether you believe it or not, and so on and so forth. Like, you can't just be friends like that again. And even if you guys, let's say they are, the friendship ain't the same, the love ain't there. You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, neither one of you will ever trust each other after that situation. But if you're a lolcow, you don't think about that shit anyway. He only cares about the public perception. Sorry. He only cares about the public perception. He doesn't give a shit about what it really is going on behind the scenes. As long as Rich can control the narrative, as he's always done, by hook or by crook, that's all that matters. Keep that in mind.
It's in a weird way like nothing ever happened. So I'm like, you know what? It's April. This isn't an April Fool's joke. Now is a perfect time to do it. So I got some notes here. I'm just going to be shooting from the hip, not really doing any editing, even if I stutter or screw up. So I know this needed to happen, and I think now is the time. So for those of you who don't know me, I used to have a 1 million+ sub channel called ReviewTechUSA.
Now, keep in mind, and I've said this pretty much all year and probably even before that, that shit was botted all the hell. That shit was botted all the hell. You know what I'm saying? So realistically, if you remove the bots, and I mean over the years, because Rich didn't just start botting views and subs. He's probably been doing it, and he's probably been doing it for years. If you take all of that away, he's probably really... or that main channel anyway, it was probably only 600, maybe 700,000 subs, if you really think about it. And keep in mind, I can say this honestly, because look at one of ReviewTechUSA's friends, Monday Matt, and look at what Monday Matt went through. Well, look at what he cried about, I should say, when he made it to 100,000 subs. And then you end up having, some years later, you had the bouldering, which was the whole situation with the Killstream, Ethan Ralph, Zidane, Gator, and then all the people they brought on there, Medicare, Keemstar. There's a bunch of people up there. The Quartering was up there too, ironically enough. And that's when they called out Monday Matt for flagging people's channels. He flagged the Kumite, he flagged Dame Pesos, he flagged holy fuck, he flagged Andy's channel as well. He flagged damn near everybody who was talking shit about him. And that we only saw one page. There's way more. There was way more. He just gave up what they already had on him. And I honestly have always believed that. Monday Matt, I may do that again. I've already done it. It's already on the channel. But I always believed that Monday Matt only gave up what they already had his ass for. That's why there was a 20-minute gap between Zidane telling him, hey, this is how you could click that link, and that right there will go ahead and show your flag history, and then screen share it with us, and then we'll find out what's what. And Monday Matt took 20 minutes or so alleviating this, alleviating that, going through and seeing what, you know, what doesn't make him look like a completely utter piece of shit and what they already have his ass for. I honestly believe that. In 2026, I may go over it again and I'll show y'all exactly what I mean in hindsight. But yeah, I honestly think that's what that thing is. And on top of that, this is very important. It's not important, but it's important. If Monday Matt was doing that, you're telling me ReviewTechUSA wasn't doing that? And then here's another Theo theory that I have. It's not exactly a Theo theory, because if it was, it'd be good. But I honestly think that Rich was helping Monday Matt with the flagging. I honestly think that's what it was. Because as soon as that situation happened with the bouldering situation, people went to Rich and was like, yo, you're going to show us your flagging history now? We already saw your man, you know what I'm saying, black boulder down. So you might as well go ahead and show us what your shit is. And he immediately was like, fuck you, I ain't telling you shit. I ain't showing you shit. I didn't flag nobody. And if I did, whatever. Then eventually he ends up going on the Warpath. That was Worski's show after Worski Live. And basically showed his cards to Keemstar, but more than likely all the flagging shit that Rich did wasn't on there anyway. And all the people that Rich had been saying for years he didn't flag, he actually flagged. So there's that. Now, Rich, as you know, has multiple channels. Now, by now, Rich has probably saturated all that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Rich was helping Monday Matt flag channels. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand what's done is done. It's all old now, whatever. But birds of a feather flock together. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was helping Monday Matt with that.
Where it was mostly that we did gaming news, and we also talked about current events and drama and things like that. It was a mess of a channel, but somehow I got to 1 million subs on it. And
all right, because he's going to take a long time. It was easy work. It was legitimately easy work. And all he had to do was split the profits. If you really think about it, ReviewTech had a nice little setup. Jay helped him with the editing and helped him find news stories and whatever for the main channel, and, you know, made all that shit happen. And then they live streamed together. It was a pretty decent, I guess, symbiotic type relationship between the two of them. The thing is Rich is greedy. Rich is greedy as shit. You don't want to you know, split proceeds. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't like spending money if he feels he don't have to. But yet again, this is the same guy who has said publicly and privately to Jay that he's helped, you know what I'm saying, save his channel. If it wasn't for Jay, who's to say that Rich would have been able to stay on top of the DK Oldies situation? On top of that, it wasn't even Rich who even started that trend at going at DK Oldies. It was another dude. That guy had unboxed, I can't think of his name at the moment, I'm sorry. But he had unboxed a I want to tell you he bought a PS3 or a PS4 from DK Oldies, and he opened that shit up and it was a fucking mess. And from there, he was like, well, fuck. Let's order another one and see if it's a fluke. And that's kind of what started the DK Oldies thing. It was somebody else who was doing that. And Rich just jumped onto that bandwagon. No hate, you know, that's how YouTube works. So that's what that was. But because Rich had far more reach, and because he was a larger channel, literally and figuratively, you know what I'm saying, he could help signal boost, if you will. So everybody who started doing it, they could all refer back to Rich in some type of way, shape, or form, and everybody could eat. That makes sense.
I did it full time as a job since 2013. And in 2019 is when I really started to lose interest in it. You know,
meaning views drop.
I was live streaming.
And a lot of the shit talking he was doing to other people in the tech, in that kind of tech sphere or in that sector, if you will, and whatnot. He ain't talk shit to a bunch of those people too. So he ain't burned a bunch of bridges leading up to that point. Rich is good for that. Rich is good for that.
I liked live streaming better. I thought it was more fun. I thought because I could, especially after the apocalypse and how picky YouTube got with what you could talk about, you could talk about whatever you want to on live streams. And you
If that was the case, then why didn't he dual stream? Because he certainly had the capability of doing that. He could have been dual streaming or multi-streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Never did that. Also, the real reason why he started live streaming, to be honest, is it allowed him to get back into doing more DSP stuff and being more front face about it. On top of that, ingratiating himself with the community at that time, he was bringing in a lot of views, bringing in a lot of money doing that. So that's what that situation is. And that leads to, excuse me, eventually his relationship with Duty and then everything else that kind of came about. And if Rich could get his own head out of his enormous ass, he would have and could have branched off and had an ongoing relationship with side scrollers. He probably could have done something with Geeks and Gamers. He probably could have done something on, what's the other one? Friday Night Tykes, because I think Rich and Gundam, at least at one time, had some type of rapport. You know what I'm saying? And all of that usually is pretty much stems from the detractor community for the most part. But he fucked it all up just because a couple of detractors were like, yo, when Mike Klum came around here talking about he wanted to do a documentary on Phil, all they told Rich was, don't fuck this up. Don't be stupid. And all of us could benefit from this and all of us could eat. Just don't fuck this up. And Rich, being a bitch and whatnot, got emotional, made it seem like, oh, well, if this doesn't happen, everybody's going to blame me, and then did what he did, and then end the story on that.
could still make a living, and I like talking about whatever the hell I wanted to. And
Even though it's at his deficit more often than not.
there were a lot of times, Jay could verify this, that I wanted to step away and just go over to live streaming or change completely what I was doing. And it wasn't just him, but many other people who had my best interest at heart that wanted me to stick to it. So it's not completely on them. It was, for those of you who know.
What do you mean it's not completely on them? They gave you good advice, so they should take the responsibility for you not taking it? Ninja, what? All right. All right.
The Rich Tomorrow meme where I would change my mind, but there would be a lot of...
That's like, dude, that's like if Chio, Declan Reed, Goji, fucking James the Lesser, Agent Proper, whoever else I'm cool with. That's like if they came to me about and were like, hey, man, maybe you should consider doing something like this, or, you know, maybe you should do like that. Just consider it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I don't do it. And then I turn around and have to make an apology video and I blame them and say, oh, well, it's not all their fault. You know what I'm saying? All the responsibility can't be taken up by them. Fucking crazy. Only a lol cow, ladies and gentlemen. Only a lol cow. An engorged one at that.
Times where I was like, look, man, I want to step away from doing gaming news, current events. And they were like, you're out of your mind. Don't do that. And, you know, I always did. I'm like, you know what? They talked sense into me, even though I wasn't into it. And I would go back to doing gaming news.
Because he didn't have anything else, because he boxed himself in all those years ago. You know what I mean? That's one of his major problems. He boxed himself in.
Even though I really didn't give a flying crap about doing gaming news.
But he had nothing else to replace it. Because his political shit is stupid. Rich flip-flops on everything. If you watched enough of his gaming coverage, you know what I mean. Rich flip-flops on everything. So from him being a Republican to a Democrat to being a conservative to a liberal, whatever. That's all he does. He flip-flops on everything because he don't know how to commit.
So
he's literally the shining example, along with DSP, that what is rewarded is repeated. He literally is the definition of that. Him and DSP for sure. They get to share that title.
Live streaming really started to become most of my income, or a good portion of my income. Maybe that's an exaggeration saying most.
And the crazy thing is if you look at how him and Jay had it structured, he literally could have done the videos during the day after he drops the kids off at school. They could have, you know, recorded 3 or 4 videos or whatever. Then he picks up the kids later, he chills out, then he fucking streams at night, and then rinse and repeat. If you really look at it, it was a pretty easy setup.
And combined with the fact that I liked it more, and I was just kind of going through the motions with ReviewTechUSA. I knew back in 2019.
I mean, but with all that passive income, which is anywhere from he says $600. I don't believe him. The truth is, his passive income could have been as much as 25 to like 4,000 to 6,000 a month. Passive income. Passive income. And he threw all that shit away over nothing, basically, because he lazy as shit. Just to go ahead and do the same shit that he didn't want on the main channel, which was bigger by hook or by crook, that had a larger reach, was already cemented in the fucking search engine and shit in the algorithm, to go to his second channel and do the same thing. He makes videos up there talking about gaming news and shit, and he live streams. One could make the argument that you never know what you have until you don't have it anymore, or until it's gone. You know what I mean?
That it was on borrowed time. Even though everyone thought they convinced me to stick to it for indefinitely, I knew that I'm like, yeah, there's going to be one day that there's going to be a straw that breaks the camel's back, and I'm going to step away from this channel.
That right there more than likely was the botting. Now, whether he kind of is low-key admitting it, but whatever. It's more than likely the botting and whatnot. Like, he may have caught a warning, or he may have seen something in his analytics that didn't look favorable, and he was starting to get paranoid. Who could say? Or I think, honestly, he may have just gotten a warning. You know, they may have found something irregular on his account, and they were just giving in whoever his partner manager or whatever it is that YouTubers have. Someone probably reached out to him and were like, hey, you may want to look at this, or you may want to pay attention to this moving forward.
One of those times, for those of you who are familiar with my lore, where I really, really, really wanted to be done, was after I got a warning from YouTube regarding Quantum TV. If you know that situation, you know.
Here's the reality. He stepped himself into a hornet's nest, thinking that he was going to build some clout off of it. Ends up getting the warning from YouTube. Basically milked it for everything that was worth. And then once that stimulants package roundabout basically fell apart, then he moved on to the next drama. That's literally what it was. He went into that situation wanting Quantum to do something to his channel, so he would have something to bitch and complain about. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest, he didn't put himself out there in the same way as the Ackman did. But then again, that whole situation didn't help the Ackman either, because, you know, he was threatening fucking YouTube members of staff. People found out all that racist shit that he had said back in the day and all that nonsense. Like, the Ackman hasn't been the same. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't do him any favors. But it wasn't just him and Rich. There was a bunch of guys who got hit. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Quantum TV was on the warpath with that bullshit. But everybody else bounced back. Rich didn't. Rich went into that wanting to get kneecapped. You know what I'm saying? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And then he had streams damn near devoted to him and shit. Like, look at what he does with DSP. Look at what he does with fucking 8-Bit Eric. He did that with Quantum TV for months. Months and months and months. He bled all that. You know, he bled Quantum TV for as much as he could get. So that's not an excuse either, as far as I see it.
They were looking for an excuse to shut people up regarding Quantum. I'm not going into the whole story. And they said a picture I had of him with a poorly photoshopped cucumber on his mouth was too sexual. No, I'm not kidding.
Quantum reported that, by the way. It wasn't like YouTube just came down on Rich for it. That's not what happened. Quantum was the one who reported that.
And at that point,
I guess while Quantum was simultaneously beating his wife, because that's the thing too.
And I'm like, the system is rigged, man. I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. I just want to do live streaming. And again, I was not just Jay, but many other people were like, just stick to it. You're nuts. You have a million sub channel. You're out of your mind. So
on top of the fact that you got 3 kids to take care of, as well as you got bills, and live streaming wasn't covering all that. Just saying.
But at that point, I was beyond done. But I knew that I'm like, maybe I'm being irresponsible, stepping away. But I was doing myself a disservice, because what I really wanted to focus on.
He's starting to sound a lot like DSP. If you really listen to this, he's starting to sound a lot. There's a lot of DSP talking points in this,
which was live streaming and other things. I was neglecting to keep something going that I really didn't give a crap about continuing. As you see, I was thinking to myself, if ReviewTechUSA got shut down tomorrow, so long as it wasn't a terms of service violation, which means I couldn't stream anyway, and
he wasn't streaming on that channel anyway, which didn't make a whole lot of sense either, but whatever. Semantics.
I couldn't do a single video on ReviewTechUSA ever again, I would have been okay with it. But again, I was like yes, I do have one. The rational side of me was, don't do it. You're nuts. But subconsciously, I knew that the days of ReviewTechUSA were even more numbered after the Quantum TV fiasco. And that final straw that broke the camel's back was the drama that happened, the fallout between Jay and I, which again, we've smoothed things over.
That doesn't mean anything. You did that to yourself. At the end of the day, you did that to yourself. And most of the allies that Rich had at that time who were willing to stick up for him, Sly is a good example of that. Them guys ended up turning on Rich later on anyway. So imagine that. So everybody who said, oh, well, I can kind of understand where Rich is coming from, and, why would you need to pay him and this, that, and the third, and whatever, all them dudes ended up turning on his ass later. And one of the reasons why for that is because all the information wasn't out. So there was that. That's one reason, I should say, of many.
We're friends again. We're fine. You could ask him too. That was really when I was done. What's funny, and not going into the drama, I was literally taking a dump, and I was so fatigued with how the industry was going. Lord knows you see now, E3 is gone. All of the big three. I'm filming this video on April 1st. You're probably going to see out on April 2nd. I don't think I'm going to upload it right after I'm done recording.
Which he did.
I'm hoping Nintendo does something exciting with the Switch 2, but the industry is in a weird place. Some may even argue, I saw RGT85 talking about it, that we're in some kind of, I would call it a soft crash. It's not the severity that it was, obviously, anywhere near it in the early 80s, but it's not in a great place right now.
And another thing, too, most of the gaming videos that are on RTU streams or on Richard Tomorrow or ReviewTech, whatever the fuck he calls it, he has what? Between 15 and maybe 25,000 views on some of those videos, a little more, a little less. If that was on the main channel, those are 70 to 100,000 view videos. Yet again, the businessman here acting like he knows what the fuck he's doing. Ain't sat there and cucked himself out of damn near either, if not 2/3, then 3/4 of the viewership. Imagine that. Amazing. Just amazing. That's what happens when lolcows think they're people.
The game manufacturers, the game developers, the console manufacturers don't know where the hell to go next. And I remember there was an Xbox event, and I was watching it while taking a dump, and it was the biggest nothing burger ever. Again. And I was like, that's it. I don't have a hat here. I'm hanging it up. It was funny because Jay and I would wake up every day and
together. he should have thought about his wording on that.
We would be like, what are we talking about today? And we would look through a whole bunch of different websites. We would look through articles. We would look through different stuff. And there was nothing. And this is my fault. The channel didn't really have a direction. So if we wanted to review something, people are like, I don't come to you for reviews. I come to you for gaming news and drama. And with gaming news being as sparse as it was.
But he did have a demographic for that. But keep in mind, though, too, he kind of did that to himself. he legitimately kind of did that to himself. He pigeonholed himself into a bad spot, so to speak. But either way, would have gotten more views over there than on his channel now. Womp womp.
And me really not giving a crap I was like, this is it, man. I had a good run. It was a decade, over a decade, that I did ReviewTechUSA full time, even with all the mistakes that I made and how sloppy and disorganized I was.
And still are, by the way.
The fact that
and all the fights that you took on, all the beefs you ain't taken on, all the sponsorships that you try to go after for other content creators, despite the fact that you said it was done to you, and it was, I suppose, to some extent. But he didn't mind doing it to other people, so that makes him a hypocrite, amongst other things, excuse me. Like, the mistakes that he made back then, he's still making now. He just didn't have enough attention on him to really hurt him. Not like these days. These days, he's full lolcow. He's in his full lolcow era. Everybody knows what kind of dumb, stupid shit that he does on a regular basis. Hell, people are going back and looking at the old stuff because there's like 3 or 4, at least 3. There's 3 archive channels that have damn near all of his shit. At least one of them does. They have all of his stuff. It is what it is. And then the Mikey No More video and whatnot, or videos actually, really help bring a lot of that stuff back to light. So now he can't fight that and whatnot. I'm surprised DSP has. Sorry. No, I'm right. Actually, I'm right. I'm surprised DSP never reacted to that. I'm really, really surprised he never reacted to the Mikey No More shit. I'm really surprised he didn't do that. Unless he did with Kino Casino. Now that I think about it, maybe he did do it, actually. No, or did they go over the June the King dot? Here, give me a second. Actually, let me take a look. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I was right. They went over the June the King doc. They didn't go over the Mikey No More documentary, which is unfortunate. They should have gone over the Mikey one. The Mikey one's better. But anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm surprised DSP never reacted to that. That's unfortunate. Like, DSP should really do that shit. And you can see what kind of scumbag Rich really is. But see, here's the problem. It goes both ways. If DSP reacts to the Mikey No More shit, a lot of what's in there on Rich can be applied to DSP. So there's that. That's unfortunate, though. We could have had ourselves a banger with that one. Womp womp.
I got over a decade out of that channel and achieved over 1 million subscribers.
Botted.
I was happy.
Or bought and paid for, however you want to word it.
With what I did, and I knew it was time to hang it up. I tried for a while before I just made the rash decision. It wasn't actually a rash decision of me deleting the channel. I tried to upload clips. I hired a clips editor to upload clips and shorts to ReviewTechUSA. I'm like, all right, maybe I could get stuff from my live streams and put it there.
Why would you turn those into shorts, though, and not actually have those things clipped out into segments and made into sole videos? God damn, you're dumb. If you're going to go through the trouble of paying someone to clip that shit out, then they should be turning those things into actual videos. Like, go ahead and use the clips to promote, but then make videos and whatnot, have that come out like the next day from, that segment that was made into a short, and put that on your channel as well. Like 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is. Why didn't he do that? Why didn't either one of them think about doing that? Damn.
That didn't work.
Okay, Call of Duty guys do that shit all the time. Call of Duty guys do that shit all the fucking time.
There was no kind of passive income from that channel.
That's a lie, but all right.
With the clips editor that I had, which it wasn't a huge amount that I had to pay them.
Oh, wow. So you weren't even paying them what they were worth. Damn. It's unfortunate.
I was still in the red. So there was no passive income. I was actually losing money having the channel open. And there were other things that were happening behind the scenes with it. I'm like, this channel is becoming a liability. Now, many of you may think, Rich, why didn't you just archive the channel or private the channel?
Because he's lazy and he's stupid.
Because I know myself. There's a reason that the Rich of Tomorrow meme where I flip-flopped was a thing, and that became a meme, because I would have flip-flopped and I would have cowered back to the channel and just kept doing the same thing that I was always doing.
Which is what he ended up doing anyway. Oh, that's so funny.
And I knew that would have been absolutely horrible idea for me to do, because I just didn't care anymore. I didn't. It's not that I didn't care about my audience, but I was fatigued with talking about gaming news. I was fatigued with the industry, and I knew ReviewTechUSA, that chapter of my life was closed. And deleting the channel, there's archives of the videos in many places you could check them out, was what I needed to do, so I didn't go back into my old ways again and my old habits.
Which you ended up doing anyway. What a fluke.
And I took a lot of time off because I've had not even before 2024, I've had a tumultuous around 2 years, not going into details. And I took a lot of time off in 2024 to get my head right.
That never happened, by the way.
And to focus.
Actually, his mental decline, it's not as rapid as DSP's, but it's like him and Wings are definitely on a race to who's going to end up cracking first. I got to tell you, at the very least, him and Wings are literally racing to the bottom on that. That's pretty crazy. I mean, DSP will beat them either which way, but yeah, there's a lot of mental decline between the three of them. For real, for real. LTG started to show signs too, which is, it's fascinating and whatnot. And if I had any humanity, I might feel a little bit bad, but I don't. But like, it is fascinating. It is really, really fascinating to hear, especially out of those four mongoloids who, you know, mentally untouchable, thick skin, trolls don't bother me. I don't care what people say. I just do my thing. And they're anything but. They're anything but.
On what the next step is for me and what the next step was for me, and to take time off to kind of psychologically digest what I went through in 2023. I'm not going to go, I've talked about it before, I'm not going to go into details. So
the situation with his daughter going blind.
Deleting.
Couldn't have hurt him that much if he only went to see her in the hospital 3 or 4 times, but semantics.
The channel, I know, was the right choice. Yes, it's a part of my history. And it was sad to see it go, but I remember sitting there's a screen that when you want to delete a channel where YouTube makes you type out in full the full name of your channel before you actually do it. And I did hesitate for a minute.
Please, he was probably hyped up on edibles. He probably had Kino Casino on the other monitor and shit, laughing at his ass, and he's like, fuck it, I gotta get out of here so they can't get a win on me. Because that same mentality where DSP will do whatever he can to make sure his detractors, trolls, haters, and critics can't get a one-up on him, Rich does the same shit. They all do. All lol cows essentially do that, especially when you're in it that deep.
But I did type out the name and hit delete. And that's how I knew. I'm like, man, I was really ready for that. For those of you who supported me for that entire time, and maybe don't know that I was still doing something on here, you should actually check out my live streams. If you're seeing this video, it's on my live stream channel. Subscribe here. I stream on a pretty damn regular basis. I think it would be bold to say daily, but pretty close to it.
The irony of all this is, ever since he deleted it, he's been trying, well, after about a month or so of him deleting it, he's been trying to fight to get it back. I still think he's trying to fight to get it back. But whatever, we'll get to that when we get to it.
I have a lot of fun with the streams here. The streams have been doing great for me, and I would love for you to join me here. I have other ideas what I may do for a YouTube channel.
But here's the thing, though. If Rich starts to get tired and burnt out from live streaming, who's to say he won't delete this channel in the same way he deleted the main channel? Makes you think.
I'm debating. Nothing is 110% concrete yet. And there's other things outside of YouTube that I want to start doing. I need to get focused on them. This video I wanted.
A job? That might not be a bad idea, Rich. That might not be a bad idea.
To make a couple months ago, but I wasn't in the right headspace even then to make it. And now I am. So I can't thank all of you enough. If you were a supporter of ReviewTechUSA, and you're like, what the hell happened to this guy? Thank you. The reason I got to live a dream that I didn't even know that was a dream.
It's funny too, because him and DSP say the same shit. Both of them went headlong into YouTube in the hopes that it could make them money and they could basically make a living off this. They both did. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people did, but they both in particular went into this with the expectation that one day they'd be able to make money off of it. It is what it is. I don't know why they try to retroactively try to rewrite shit like they fell into this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's the reality of it. They both had their own ideas and plans of doing this shit. It was just a matter of when. And they held out, and they held in there until their IRL lives basically went to shit. And then they did everything possible to keep this all afloat. That's the reality of it. And then they made all that money over all those years and don't got shit to show for it. That's fucking crazy, bro. How is it that DSP doesn't have at least a couple $100,000 in the bank? How is it that Rich himself doesn't have at least a couple $100,000 in the bank? Jesus Christ, do you even have a college fund for any of those kids? You have anything set up for them? Probably not.
Started ReviewTechUSA, and I thought it was, maybe it would have got me like radio work.
Which he might have been all right with that. He might have been okay for radio work. I think honestly, he probably could have. He has the voice for it, at least for that. You know what I mean? Either late night or early morning shit. That could work as long as there is someone there. He has to do it with somebody else though, that can present with the topics. He gives his opinion. You know what I'm saying? And then they continue to move on, and then there's music playing in between and all that shit. That could work. I mean, hell, even now that could still work. It's just he's too lazy of a piece of shit to get up every morning and go.
Or when I got partnered in 2011, I thought maybe at most it would be like an extra side hustle where if I had a full-time job, it would help either pay a couple of bills or buy some interesting tech.
Did you not have a full-time job in 2011? I'll have to go look.
But you turned it because you enjoyed my content, the sloppy mess that I could be. You enjoyed it enough that it turned into way more. And I can't thank you enough for that. So I hope you understand. I thank you again for being around for that long and listening to a middle-aged man talk about video games. And now it's time for a new chapter. And that new chapter is right here on this channel. As of now, it's called The Basement. I don't know if I'm going to keep that. I hope to see you here. I hope that you enjoy the content I make moving forward. And when I have new endeavors, I'll let you know about them here. And if they're outside of YouTube, I'll give you a heads up on YouTube to go check those out as well. I would say this is Rich of ReviewTechUSA signing out, but the channel no longer exists. This is Rich Masucci, the live streamer, signing out. Thank you so much for your over decade of support, and I hope to see you again real soon.
Jesus Christ, that was depressing. Oh, that was depressing as shit. Anywho, well, this low-cal barbecue isn't going to fucking barbecue itself. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to video number 2. Well, actually, this is taken from a live stream, but you get my drift. Links to all these things will be down in the description for any of you who would care about any of this. So, I owe you an explanation. This is from December 26th, or sorry, December 16th, I should say, of 2025. Let me get the ball rolling on that.
Bucket.
All right. Now, let me actually give you the premise behind what the real explanation is. Apparently, this fucking idiot was supposed to do a live stream, Dark Souls or something along those lines. He said that he got food poisoning or he got a stomach bug or whatever. He was at Lauren's house with his kids. They got snowed in or, whatever. And that he couldn't travel right away or whatever that situation was. He was puking his guts out, shitting all over the place. And he couldn't make it happen. He had promised this, whether it was a stream goal or whatever it was. Clearly, people must have invested some type of money in it, and he didn't want people to think that he ripped them off or whatever. Luckily for y'all, we're going to skip all that because we don't need that. What we do need is him basically going into how he regretted the situation with the ReviewTechUSA channel or the main channel, and how he is going to make his early attempts to take it back. And then he's going to make a video actually having his coming out party, so to speak. So that's where we're at with that. Without further ado, here we go.
Bucket. So anyway, yeah, I haven't had time to look into Phil, and of course the craziest shit happened. Ooh, you have a kidney stone within the asses? Oof, those are brutal.
We would ice our golden buns all night.
At Philip Harbernell donated $4.99 through Super Chat.
Oh yeah, I
Tell
guess
the
I
chat
am
to
your
stop
wife.
saying
Anyway.
my wife went missing. You're on stream right now.
Keemsler,
Boards.
4 months, birds, thank you. I like your thumbnail, by the way. You know, so when I really genuinely thought, and that was by design, and fuck the people who put me in that situation. Okay, I'm not saying, look, I was the one who chose to do what I did, and I was a grown-ass man, but I really thought I was done.
No. Evil laugh. So you just heard him say that he had felt like he was coming down to his wit's end. The channel didn't have any value. He did everything he could to keep it afloat. Other people who I guess he felt in some way had deserved the blunt of the responsibility, who were only looking out for his best interests, told him to keep it going. You can't leave the game alone. It still needs him. Whatever. So on and so forth. Wanted to keep him in pocket. He said, no, I don't have no love for it. Whatever. Now, okay, 4 or 8 months later, he's now saying, oh, well, Kino Casino pushed him to do it. He says it without naming them. Keemstar played a part in that. That was the reason why he had to get rid of ReviewTechUSA. He was pushed out because he was mentally vulnerable. He was mentally ill. And all these other people were around him. Wolves basically surrounding the injured grizzly bear or whatever the fuck. And and they were the ones who forced him to do it. It wasn't his fault anymore. He was in a stressful situation and he did what he had to do. That's what the narrative is.
I thought there was no way I could have come back from that. Hindsight being 2020 and not like catastrophizing everything. I don't know if I could have brought back ReviewTechUSA on that channel, but there was no reason I couldn't have kept it and put stuff up on there. And it was funny. I was at a...
So was he trying to bring ReviewTechUSA back, or was he trying to maintain essentially his own status quo? What'd you think?
Store the other day, and this guy came out. He's like, "Oh my god, the people behind the counter were freaking out because they know you, they love your stuff, and they still watch you. And they used to watch you on ReviewTechUSA." I'm like, "Ray for years," and I was like, "What did I do?" And between thinking about it for months,
so you let some random people that you don't know cause you to have regret over a situation when you couldn't look into the eyes of your own children, who that you're responsible for, Rich, that you're obligated to take care of. And that in itself wasn't a good reason to keep that going while you pursuing this live stream bullshit and then whatever other endeavors you had going on in IRL. You let random ass people outvalue or even overvalue you over the responsibility of your own children or the responsibility to your own children. Jesus Christ. That's a choice, I guess.
yeah, I mean, I'm basically doing the same shit here anyway.
No shit.
It's not like I'm doing...
But then again, people, myself included, predicted that was what was going to happen and whatnot. And soon as the Switch 2 was coming out and all this news was coming up, he immediately hopped on it. Of course he was going to. But instead of getting his little 15, 20,000, 25,000 on this channel or on the RTU streams channel, he could have at least gotten 80, 90,000 on the main one. All right, whatever.
And Rich, what happens if you talk about politics? Talked about politics on ReviewTechUSA. So,
which was a bad idea.
You know, there we are.
And the worst thing about, and one of the bad things about talking about politics, or at least for a lolcow anyway, is someone's gonna want to kind of, be able to test the waters and see if you actually know what the fuck you're talking about, and whether you can actually stand on those supposed values and morals and all that bullshit that you say you believe in. And these guys can never really defend themselves on those type of fronts. It's a wild ass situation. If you put ReviewTechUSA right now And well, right now in my day, which is 2025. But hell, even in 2026, if you want, if you go ahead and put him up against fucking Stuttering Craig from Side Scrollers, Rich is gonna lose. Rich is gonna actually fucking lose. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't have any conviction. He goes off what he thinks, not what he knows. If that makes sense.
Wish I could sound more enthused about it right now. Yeah, I regret giving him my play button, though. But nothing violent or nothing illegal. He's going to regret putting me in that situation. I'm just going to say that.
You put yourself in that situation. And then, did he ask you for the play button? Or did you offer it up? I can't remember which one. I'm not even sure if that even came out. But either which way, why would you do that? You've been warring with this person, with this gnome, for over a decade, and you just decide to give up the one piece of the one thing that kind of solidifies that you were ever anything on the internet. That really, that's what we did. And then now that I think about it, Rich should have 3 play buttons. I think he should have one for 100,000. He should have one for 500,000, and then he should have one for the million. Did he give up the other 2 as well? If there are 2 more, there might be just one. They may not give you a play button for 100 for 500,000 subs. So I feel like back in Rich's day they would have, but I might be wrong. But did he have to give those up too? Makes you think.
I'd not say anything else. And it'll be at a time of my choosing. Anyway.
We would ice our golden buns all night.
Abadog473 donated 50 Swedish krona.
I am a woman in disguise.
He's a woman in disguise.
When Andreas is here, you know that you're going to be getting some strange super chats, and I am perfectly... And Austin Norris. Austin Norris and Andreas, you know weirdness is going to ensue.
Oh, his dependence on that play button is really sad.
Why would you say when you went and worked for him after? Because
Rich is a hypocrite. That's why. That's why. And I think he thought he could poison the well from within. I think that if he could get people on the inside to turn against him in some way, shape, or form, so be it. He looked at it as, well, you know, Keem is making money off of him. Becky Boop is making money off of him. He should get his piece as well. On top of that, I think that he wanted DSP's chair. He wanted DSP's seat on Locale Live, the main show. And honestly, I don't think he could have pulled that off, to be honest. I really don't think he could have done it. But whatever, we'll never know. At least not for now. But I think he wanted that as well. And so he could kind of rub that in DSP's face that, hey, you know, that deal that you were given, now I have it. Now I'm getting to make all that money, and look at what you missed out on. You know what I'm saying? Because Rich is petty like that. I would think it would give him leverage on Becky. You know, hey, I'm the head of Locale Live, you're the head of Locale Queens, plus I have my little secondary show with Jay. You know, who has real say-so here? So I think there's that too. But that could be me just thinking way ahead of what Rich is actually capable of conceiving.
I was discussing doing that. It was like it was spilled milk and move on. But in the end, you know what, with that, even though I should have just fucking not did it, that was more of his fucking game. When he realized that Jay and I were actually going to make a normal show and we weren't just going to fucking sit on Keemstar's cock and spin, he didn't want anything to do with us. You notice that? Like, once he realized that Jay and I were not just going to be like his errand boys, like all these other Discord mods, like Scooter and everyone else were like...
But that's not true, because when Becky was supposed to be distributed a punishment, they asked Rich to drive out to like a Walmart parking lot or some shit, and to meet Becky out there to make sure that she did this public humiliation ritual. Essentially, it was what it was. And he actually went, but Becky never showed. And then everybody laughed at him for getting ghosted. Imagine that.
They're beholden to him. It was done. I used to like Joe Rogan.
There are a lot of people used to like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, there will be actual. So is the stream for Bloodborne? Yeah, I actually still have the scheduled stream. I just privated it. I don't want to say, oh, it's going to be tomorrow. It will be very soon. It will probably be within the next 3 to 5 days.
I thought it was going to be for tomorrow. Now it's 3 to 5 days. Okay.
And I'll probably be streaming beforehand. I just don't.
What happened to the members only Mario Kart World streams? Why doesn't he do that shit anymore? Fucking A.
Want to say I'm going to do like what happens if I right now 4 hours from now have a shit spree. I could have the shit spree. Guys, I got to go. I'm shitting my brains out.
You're kind of a grown-ass man, though. So you trying to lean on what-if-isms doesn't really work. That's something what kids do. Just saying. I find that to be kind of pathetic. Hey, I can't do said thing because what if this thing happens? I mean, be logical. This is what you do for a living. So make it happen.
What bothers me about Keemstar, he did the whole thing with making me see like all the stuff he did with character assassination. The person he did it with, Becky, was a complete liar. He duped some woman into thinking that I put out revenge porn on her.
I saw golden buns all night.
Didn't that other chick go up there willingly? And didn't Rich forgive her? Not Becky, the other chick, the one that told Keem about that flapping video that Rich was spreading out to other women, or sending out to other women. But Rich lied and said he didn't do that, only Lauren had it. Then he said, oh, well, did my phone get hacked and all this other fucking silly ass shit.
I
do have, you know what, the breasts are still here for you.
Chat. You have breasts that is evidence you as a woman.
Thank you, Andreas. That the breasts are still here for now.
Okay. So, that's the thing.
So that's why I'm like, no, I have to make the call that I'm not going to do. And I waited, probably the wrong choice, but I waited until, because I'm like, maybe I'll wake up. Because like I said, you guys know stomach bugs. You could wake up the fucking next day and be fine. I mean, I feel, but this is how I felt yesterday, where I woke up like, oh, well, no, I didn't wake up farting my brains out. That's a good sign.
Oh boy.
Dude, it was like nuclear farts yesterday. Like I woke up and it was just like one fart on top of another fart on top of another fart. I see what you're saying. You know what the difference with...
Imagine having fucking milquetoast type commentary like this and still being able to pull 100,000 views on your main channel if you weren't stupid and deleted it. Jesus Christ.
Jay was, though. Keemstar's history with me. I'm trying to think of the best way to word it.
And then here's the crazy part, too. The thing with the beef with him and Keemstar is literally one-sided. It's literally a one-sided type thing. You know? Like, whatever skirmishes that they had, like, Keem engaged because he felt the need to do so. Most of it was a misunderstanding that Rich kind of drummed up on his own. And then Keem moved on. And then it doesn't matter because Rich is still a statistic, because Keem will go ahead and gather up his enemies or his opposition at one time or another. He made money off of Rich, then he embarrassed them, then he kicked them to the curb. At the end of the day, Rich is still a statistic to that. Keem still has the win on him. No matter how you want to chop that shit up, that's what happened.
Was always nefarious. He always had a bone to pick with me, whereas, yeah, Jay did some shit that was shitty. He's not going to... But that was a one-off. Jay never did shit like that to me before.
You're sweeping for Jay? Don't get me wrong. Jay ain't... I have a couple of videos I need to go over where Jay fucking sweeps up for a couple of different people actually, mainly the CD-ROM situation, which that definitely needs to get addressed sooner than later. So we'll see where that goes, but we'll see where that goes. But the fact that you're sweeping up for Jay is kind of wild. Jay was complicit in Rich getting fucked over on that that lolcow tech talk. We all know it. We all understand it. What are you sweeping up for him for? He did what he did. He, you know, he made his decision. He was paid well for it. What's done is done. If you guys are really friends, then move on. Just say that he did what he did and then whatever. But Rich trying to minimize it is him trying to kind of hold on to the narrative or take control of the narrative that, oh, well, Keem did it. You know, it was a one-off by Jay, but Keem was the one who really instigated that situation. Petty shit like that.
And I forgave him for it because I know it was out of character for him. Whereas Keemstar is just a proven piece of shit. And then,
so it's not like Jay didn't have justification to go after you after how you treated him publicly? All right, whatever.
With the crypto scamming, there's something else that he did recently. I'm like, you're going to be a moral arbiter with other people, and you do. I never scam people out of hundreds of thousands telling them to go for some fucking... So basically, like, what was it? Safe Moon.
You did fuck people over, though. Yeah, he didn't fuck people over for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But he did fuck people over. Don't get it twisted. Rich definitely costed people money. You know what I'm saying? And not even just the big cheese situation. Like, Rich ain't sat there and tried to go after people's sponsorships and all that silly shit. He's done a lot. He's done a lot. It may not have been on the same scale financially as a Keemstar, but he still did it.
He told everyone to buy, which benefited him, and he pulled out. He's a rug puller. He's a fucking scam artist. So there is this situation. I see people bring that up with Jay, and not that I ignore it, but I'm like, that's why I let it go with Jay. Because I know that's not what he does.
That's not what happened. We're coping here. The reason why he let it go with Jay is because there are a lot of people that are willing to fight for Jay. And initially, when him and Jay had that beef, he didn't think that was going to be the case. He thought he would have complete and utter control of the narrative. Then he found out otherwise. Now, would Jay still have people fight for him now, given what's come out as of late? Still more people than what Rich could muster up. So there's that. He doesn't want to get drawn back into another situation with Jay. Jay took the L, or took the W. Jay won, I should say. And Rich can't afford to try to fight him again. It is what it is.
Like, if Jay did shit like that to me numerous times, I'm like, nah, man. You're like, no. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And then look at, well, yeah, the fatty coin. No, it wasn't the fatty coin. Keemstar wasn't as far as I know, wasn't financially involved in that. I have nudes of Bill Gates in my Dropbox.
Matt, I'm hard.
You just got... Listen, have ads be triggered by things that you were saying. So there, Biffy, I feel like I've seen it said before. Like, all right, let me explain that because I get it and I get why people bring that up. That's not in character for Jay. And, you know, me and him are normal again like it never happened. You know, that's why I forgave him for that.
So you forgave Jay because you didn't think he could fight back, and then when he finally did, you got fucked. Okay, I guess that's a way of going about it.
His Keemstar, like, it's just what he does. He's a piece of shit.
He just wants Keemstar. That's all. He just wants to put all the blame on Keemstar, which is really sad because Rich has pointed out how DSP likes to do that to certain detractors, right? And he says that's really pathetic. You need to take responsibility, so on and so forth. He can tell all that to DSP, but he can't even do it himself. Imagine that.
Shit. And I wholeheartedly, and I'm tired of bringing it up, but yet at the same time, it's
all night.
At Gary Oak 8247 donated $4.99 through Super Chat. Rich, did you say you're bringing back RTU USA? Crying face emoji.
yeah, exact. There we go. That was, yes, I'll get to that 1 second, Gary. I'm not blowing past your super chat. My apologies. Jay felt aggrieved. team exploited the situation to bury you. There we go.
What? It might make a good thumbnail though. But Jay was complicit. I don't know why he's going through this struggle session to make it seem like Keem was preying upon Jay. Jay was complicit. He knew what he was doing. Why Rich can't accept that, I don't know. That's pretty sad. It's funny though.
There we go. And I was stupid fucking enough to let it work. Never again.
I mean, you're not that smart though. Like the trap, if you want to call it that, was laid out pretty front facing. Like all Rich had to do was say no. But see, Rich saw the money and then he saw all the opportunities that I previously stated and he couldn't turn it away. But he won't admit it because he's stupid.
So, and I really did. The only thing I'll defend myself with is, yeah, I really genuinely thought the walls closed in on ReviewTechUSA and I was fucking done. So.
Oh, man. That's funny.
He almost let Tiger King come on LolCow, Keemstar.
Yeah, he did actually. I did a video on that. Well, I'm not sure if it ever went out. I did it. I'll name the segment later talking about that. And Tiger King pulled a bait and switch, or whoever it was trying to facilitate the phone call. That might have been big for LolCow Live at that time if they had gotten that done. That happened early in or I want to say second quarter of 2025, or my current year, but last year for y'all. Yeah, I think I actually have a video already recorded on that. Pretty sure I did. I did.
Why is 8-Bit Eric gonna have a field day with this one? Let him have a
We
field
would
day.
ice our golden buns all night.
At
Yeah, oh, yeah, dude, I have been so out of the loop.
99 pence through Super Chat. Did you see Trump's vile post about Rob Reiner's death? Even MAGA thinks it went too far.
We would ice our golden buns all night.
I'll explain in 1 second.
Maniac donated €5 through Super Chat. In bringing back ReviewTechUSA, man. Bro literally whipped his save file and wants a replay now. Love you, Rich, but my God, you are a man with an ass.
Yeah, dude, I'm not going to go into more details because I don't want to, but.
What was that scratch? Jesus, Rich.
All I could say is at the time, I felt like I had no other choice. Was it the wrong mindset? Yeah, of course. But I will say, I was like, yeah, I really did at the time feel like it was the best choice. And it wasn't. Even when I was telling myself that when I made the video on this channel. And yeah, it is what it is, man. You know, lessons learned.
That's a hard lesson to learn. That's a hard lesson to learn, to throw away a decade plus of your life away over the insecurities that Kino Casino and Keemstar exploited. Imagine that.
Yes, I'm pregnant with birds. I'm pregnant with birds.
That.
All right, so who has something about what's going on with Phil? We'll watch for a little bit. Not sure how long I'm staying because I'm still But
we have time to watch Phil though, even though we're Imagine that. You know when DSP says, oh, people only make fun of him because they want to make themselves feel better? Rich is literally the person he's talking about, if you think about it. Rich literally is the person that he's talking about.
There's a help I see. What is the help? Let me see. I'm sure Duty has it. Yeah, this channel is doing pretty good. I mean, like that new video I just put up is doing 54% above average viewership. And I gained 100 new subs from it. So, DSP then is
Oh, that's hilarious. But now we're gonna go ahead and get his post nut clarity and whatnot, and that'd be.
I just wanted some sauce on those zingers.
Do with that. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the third and final video that'll make, all this up. Also brought to us by Review Rich of Tomorrow. Review Tech is back. I made a mistake. Here's my story. Hashtag ReviewTechUSA. This is from December 18th of 2025. Link to all of these will be down in the description for those who care. All right, here we go.
All right, so the title isn't clickbait. I'm just going to kind of ramble here and not do any kind of cuts or crazy edits. I'm just going to have a stream of consciousness, whatever. Pick the word that's right. And just kind of tell you what made me make this decision to bring back ReviewTechUSA. That's what I'm doing. Why I shut down the other channel, the real reasons that I realized were real and not just coping reasons. I thought that my previous video here, I told myself that that was the justified reasons that I did it, and I wasn't. I was just in denial. And
you're lying. Okay, gotcha. I'm a liar who was lying. Gotcha, Rich. No problem. That sounds about right.
And it was a mistake. And I realized the error of my ways, granted with the channel gone.
I mean, being that he's been struggling financially all year. Yeah, I bet you think it is a mistake, don't you?
And I don't like giving up or backing down, especially when that's what people wanted.
That's what you did, though. That's why the channel's gone in the first place. I can say you don't like giving up or backing down, and that's literally what you did. Oh boy.
So what the hell made me, I've been thinking about this probably like for the past 4+ months. I just didn't say anything. What made me change my mind? Now, if you've noticed, I've been uploading videos on a fairly regular basis. And comment, you could go look yourself. I'm not going to sit here and chop them out, but they're all over the place. Wow, I didn't realize you were still making videos. It's glad to see you back, man. I subbed to your channel. I didn't realize you were still around. What the hell happened to you? Blah, 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 blah. You could see it. It's all over there. And I'm like, oh, wow. I guess there were more people that like to watch me than I realized. That's what I genuinely felt. I'm like, man.
That's weird. I thought it was you walked into a shop and someone at the front desk was like, hey, a bunch of people in the back are happy to see you. And, you know, they used to watch all your old videos, this, that, and the third. Now there's people on YouTube who were surprised you were still making videos and what happened to your main channel. Okay, I guess two things could be true. I guess that's the thing.
I thought that, you know, the tide was completely against me on ReviewTechUSA. And then what was the straw that broke the camel's back and said, all right, I'm definitely going to do it and bring ReviewTechUSA back. I don't know if I could bring the channel back. I almost guarantee I can.
He's still trying, though, and he had been trying for like the last 4 or 5 months or so.
But I will be ReviewTechUSA here. Is I was in a store the other day, and the guy behind the counter was like, hey, man, we watch your stuff. The people that work in the back were freaking out because they've been watching you for years. And I'm like, I kind of, maybe I did have imposter syndrome to a degree because I didn't realize I had that much of an impact on people that I would still, to this day.
I mean, if you're botting your channel, though, yeah, I could see how that might make sense. If you've been doing shit by fraudulent means, I could see how that might make sense. That might make a good thumbnail, actually.
As ReviewTechUSA, still in real life, get people coming to me and saying, man, you know, we watch you, we're a fan, glad that you come in here. So I was like, you know what? I gotta stop giving into the negativity, which, man, there's a lot of it online. And
no shit. And supposedly you were above it. And then you try to lecture DSP on how he should be above it. Just like how DSP tries to lecture Wings on how he should be above it. Like Lolcow or Boros or some bullshit.
And just make the right choice. And I knew at that point the right choice was bringing back ReviewTechUSA. So why did I, now that I'm looking in the mirror and actually seeing the reflection, why did I delete ReviewTechUSA? Because I thought it was done.
No, because you're a sensitive bitch and you were tired of people laughing at you. That's what happened. You were a sensitive bitch and you were tired that people were laughing at you. That's what happened.
And it was stupid. I was in a really negative headspace because of events that happened to me in 2023. And then,
Jesus, you're still putting all that responsibility on that kid? Like I said, you saw that kid 3 or 4 times over the span of a year. I am sorry, Rich, but your daughter can't be a crutch for you. You're a grown-ass man.
compound it with 2024 with all the drama that happened there.
Drama that he started, by the way.
And I wasn't in my right mind. I went through a terrible tragedy in real life. And
Rich, she's not dead. Like, why are you talking like that? Yes, it's a sad situation. It's a scary situation. She's not dead, though. His child's alive. Whatever. I might have been reading into that a little too much. I mean, I get it. It's traumatic. Jesus Christ, he talking like that girl passed away.
I wasn't thinking straight. That you could say it's an excuse. I don't care. Think it's an excuse, but
It is an excuse. It's a massive fucking excuse.
that's what it was. And then coming off of the
He doesn't even believe it either. You could tell by the way his eyes are darting. Even he doesn't believe it.
disaster that happened in 2023 and then going into the drama and the fallout that happened in 2024, and then to have Keemstar, who decided to step in and use me as a stepping stone to get his now failing Locale Live off.
No, that's not what happened. Becky used your ass as a stepping stone. Now you could say, oh, well, Keem benefited from it, so that's what he means. Fair enough. But the reality is Becky used his ass as a stepping stone. And Keem and Jay helped her. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reality of it. Keem and Jay helped her.
The ground and bring on a person who was a pathological liar that has now disappeared, who we know, Becky Boop.
Yeah, but Keem and Pedo behind the camera, Mike, they want her back. See, they didn't know how good they had it. All her bitching, complaining, whatever the fuck she was doing, you got multiple people across that whole universe over there saying, we want her back. We need her back. You know, all that nonsense Keem was talking about where, oh, well, maybe if she pays back Savage and Roxy, then maybe we can do business. Now it's started to turn into, if she would just pick up the phone, let us talk, and then we'll bring her right back. We'll put her right back into the situation. We'll give her whatever she wants. That's what it's come down to now. And Becky still ain't picked up the phone yet. So whatever it is that Becky's doing, whether that chick's on some OnlyFans shit, she had a nervous breakdown, whether she's trying to find herself and drop weight, whatever the fuck she's doing, if she can hold out a little bit longer, she can essentially get everything she wants back and everything she had and some, if she plays it really, really smart. Because it's getting to the point now where there's talks of Keem's talking about 10 grand off rip, plus he'll take care of whatever she owes Roxy and Savage just to get her back in pocket. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see how 2026 plays that out.
Into the land of irrelevancy again. It was
If I'm Becky, I want 20,000. Look, if I'm Becky, I want 50,000. Fuck it. Fuck the bullshit. Go for broke. Go for fucking broke.
just too much. And I thought that with what happened with Locale Live, and then Keemstar brought on a woman that I was talking to on and off and duped her into doing some terrible things, I really thought the walls were closing in around me.
I wonder how Lauren felt about that. I wonder how Lauren felt that you were talking to other women and shit and whatnot while she's been fighting for you to commit to her and your kids that you have with her. Imagine that.
And I felt pressured. I thought the right thing at that time, which was so wrong. I wish I could go back into a time machine. I was staring at this monitor. I went there and had the screen to delete your channel, and between what was happening with all the terrible people on Locale Live, and
I told you. I told you. All those people were pressuring him and got him scared. Locale Live, Kino Casino, everybody else that was at his neck. That's what scared him, and that's what made him do it. Fascinating.
in the manipulation and the pressure, I genuinely thought that I had no other choice. And it was dumb, and I absolutely did. And I don't like quitting or backing down from anybody. And the fact that I did then, especially for the people that I backed down to.
Well, that's not even true, because think about it. Before you got the 666 podcast, where Rich and DSP were supposed to collaborate against Kino Casino with all the leaks or whatever. Remember, don't forget this, that initially, before that, DSP was willing to do an interview / situation with Rich, and Duty talked Rich out of doing it. So Rich ain't sat there and backed down on multiple occasions to multiple people. Keep that in mind. Don't ever forget that. That the first opportunity Rich had to be able to do something with DSP, which is what Rich has always wanted, Duty made him talk his ass out of it, or made him not do it. However you want to work, however you want to take it. Keep that in mind.
Never again. Never again. I have a lot more that I want to do on this platform. I'm a very creative person.
Are you?
I like sharing my opinions and sharing my takes. And there's a lot more that I want to achieve. There was a lot more I wanted to achieve on ReviewTechUSA.
Until you let a bunch of people punk your ass into not doing it and deleting the channel. Sure. Okay, champ. Oh, mentally untouchable.
And I plan on doing that here. And this is going to become ReviewTechUSA. And I'm going to do what I wanted to finish on that channel. I'm going to do here and finish here.
That doesn't even make sense. Because one, the only way this it's not going to work either which way, but the only way that's going to work now is if he turns the ASMR channel into the new RTU streams channel or the Rich of Tomorrow channel, so he can stream over there, and then he just posts videos exclusively over here. And he's not going to do that because that puts him in the same financial burden or problem or issues that he had with the main channel. So if Rich does, as my theory is proposes, that if he does start botting later on, at least subs, if not views, if he starts doing that shit and he gets caught up again, he's not going to have any place else to run to. He can't afford to try to rebuild the RTU ReviewTechUSA on his current channel without turning the ASMR channel into the new streaming channel. We'll see.
I'm not going to back down and succumb to anybody. And I know I could put out good quality content, and I will be here putting out that content. Oh.
Okay. Well, wait and see how that plays out.
Also, too, over the next few days, I will be streaming quite a bit on this channel. I have a project I'm working on. I may not have actual videos up unless some major breaking news happens, like Bill Gates jumped out of a birthday cake for Gabe Newell. I will cover that. But while I'm working on that project, I will also be streaming quite a bit, so make sure you check in with streams.
Oh no, is that going to be another Netflix-style fucking video? We're going to get another one of those. Holy shit, Rich.
And this is the most confident I've felt in a couple years, and I'm glad to be back.
If this is what confidence is, boy, your best better be a whole lot fucking better. I got to tell you, if this is what confidence is supposed to be.
And I'm glad to see with evidence that people want me back. And to Keemstar.
So wait, so there wasn't enough evidence by all the views and all the revenue you were making on the main channel before you fucking deleted it? It wasn't like that channel was demonetized. Unless it was. And you didn't tell anybody, and that's why you did. You know what? Okay. Hear me out. Hear me out. Let's see if we can try to help Rich out here and shit. I mean, truth be told, if you wanted real advice, put a ring on Lauren's finger, take care of your fucking children and shit, man. And at least get a tattoo of their names and their birth dates on your other arm or something. At least do that. And probably get a fucking job application or fucking build a resume or something and fucking start sending that shit out. There you go. That's my good deed for today. But let's say, hypothetically, because I don't think anybody's brought this up. I just thought about it right now. What if his main channel was demonetized? Maybe, what if his channel was demonetized because of the botting while they were investigating? But see, that doesn't make it, I don't think that's the case, because the channel he's currently on is under the same AdSense. And actually, that was his justification to Tipster on why he got rid of the main channel in the first place. He had to get rid of it because if they had discovered the botting that he was doing on there, that could have compromised his whole AdSense account. So he had to get rid of it. But what if he was about to get demonetized on the main channel? And that's why he cut it loose before that happened. This way he doesn't lose his secondary. Because he doesn't really have a good reason for why. You know what I'm saying? He tells Tipster, well, no, he says that he wasn't into it anymore doing the gaming news. The gaming industry had burnt him out, all that bullshit. And that's why he wanted out. Then his next reasoning is, oh, well, I was going through all this internal bullshit. I have all these people hating on me. All these people are doing these things to me, and now I need to get rid of it. Now he's saying that, oh, well, now it's a combination of all three of those things are basically what drove him to do it. He didn't feel like he was burnt out from the industry, and he felt like he wasn't relevant. Keemstar was fucking him over, and then he was being laughed at by fucking Kino Casino and LCU and whoever else. And you've heard all of those excuses essentially just in this broadcast alone, which means the real reason hasn't actually come out yet. I will ponder that a little longer, but the real reason isn't here. This is all subterfuge. This is all fucking smoke and mirrors. The real reason for why he got rid of that channel is not out there yet. Well, it might be out there, but he's not saying it, I should say.
I know you got my million sub play button or whatever it went to, but I
that you gave up willingly and freely.
Want to tell you to do something, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Take that play button and shove it up your ass. I'm not going anywhere. This is Rich of ReviewTechUSA. See, I actually said it this time. Signing out. Make sure you sub to the channel if this video brought you back, and I'll be having plenty of great content on this channel. Thank you for the continued support, and thank you for everyone who came back too.
He's making it sound like fucking Kino Casino and fucking Keemstar were trying to run his ass off the internet. Why do these lolcows always do that shit? Oh, they're trying to run me off the internet. They want me to give up on my love and my dream and my passion and all this other bullshit. No one's doing any of that. You're just getting mocked and ridiculed. If you can handle it, then handle it. If not, shut the fuck up and leave. Get a job. Holy shit. Oh boy. Oh, there you go. Another example of a lolcow being a massive fucking head case. Rather befitting, to say the least, I gotta be honest with you. Okay. That's it. I'm not gonna put you guys through any more torture. I'm not gonna put you guys through any more torture. That shit was hilarious though. Holy fuck. Alright, let's go with this. I think you guys need a drink after that. Alright, final thoughts and I will let you guys go. I'm sorry, that was funny. I'm not sorry. He deserves all that shit. It's the botting. I think it was the botting. The channel was about to get caught up in a dragnet. He couldn't risk it, and he let it go. I'm not saying that the other excuses and or reasons aren't valid, but the main reason was if he loses monetization, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's he gonna do? He's been streaming for years. He never thought about multi-streaming, so he never was able to expand his reach. If he wants to talk about politics, why isn't he streaming on Rumble? Why isn't he streaming on Kick? I mean, fuck, you can stream on fucking Twitch and talk about your politics if you want. His shit's milquetoast as fuck anyway. And he could probably, believe it or not, he could probably find himself an audience on Twitch. So that's not a reason, that's not an excuse. The reality is he's compromised. He's lazy, he's complacent, and he's compromised. That's what happened. He plays stupid games and he won stupid prizes. And Kino Casino, as well as fucking Keemstar, were watching his sub count plummet as the Dickers meme continued to build, as people were mocking and ridiculing him, as all these clip channels came out of nowhere. Not nowhere, but you know what I mean. Ozzy Cobbs, Huggy Show, formerly Hollywood Huggy, Review Clips USA, the archive channels. Lebrowski speaks about him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like the veil of lolcow invincibility or invulnerability really is gone. Everybody sees Rich for what he always was. And that's why that situation with Jay was a bad look, because bringing Eric into that bullshit, 8-Bit Eric, ended up bringing Smash JT into that shit, which ended up bringing more people in the gaming and tech community to sit there and watch it. Rich has fucked himself all the way around. All the way around. Over nothing. Over what? What, $2,000, $2,500, whatever it was that he owed to Jay. All that caused all this, basically. Not for nothing, but I don't think it was worth it. I'm sorry, but not for nothing. I don't think the payoff was really what it was cracked up to be. But semantics. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys for the next one of these, whenever that may be. Hopefully sooner than later. And I'm going to keep running through my 2025 vault until we get into 2026. And then we'll go from there as it pertains to how I want to format things and all that moving forward. Like I said, we might do like a network, a GTG network and production business meeting. Haven't done one of those in a while, and I'll bring you guys in and we'll discuss what we're doing. I'll figure out how I'm going to do that, and then we'll go from there. I'll do like a soft launch, and then we'll catch some feedback and see what you guys are thinking. In any case, I've been your host / anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Big ups to all of our subsidiaries and affiliates and everybody who has stuck around and who supports the channel. Very much appreciate it. And don't ever forget that a loyal cow is a loyal cow, and they'll never be able to change what they are. It is what it is. Take care of yourselves, people. Later.
Hey yo, I just want to say shout out to my red bike. It got stolen about a year ago, and I think about you every day. But you know, now I got a blue bike, and it's not the same, but it's a new life, a new journey. So rest in pedals, red bike, I love you. I like to bask in the tropics with a flask in my pocket. If you acting no problem, I'll start laughing and mocking like a charismatic parrot that is a comic. Now I'm feeling like the shit, cause I'm rapping with phonics.